liking the new shelf design.
Hello and welcome to the SEGA Nerdcast, episode 76. I'm Chris, the editor of SEGA Nerds, and this is the very first SEGA Nerdcast of 2015. And I want to introduce everyone to a new staff writer we have on the show. Everyone say hi to Marcin. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it going? Welcome to the club.
I do want to say I am so happy to have you on the show and actually with us on the website, Marcin, because I've been, over the past probably year and a half, I've been going crazy being pretty much the primary news writer on the site. It's very nice to have someone else to help me out with the news, so thank you very much.
I'm glad to be a helping hand, and I'll try to be as involved as possible, so no worries.
Sweet. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Marcin? Tell the SEGA audience out there a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm 23. I like long walks on the beach. I have a twin brother whose also name is Chris, actually. So I'm a twin. I've been a gamer since I was probably around 6. My first console was the Sega Genesis.
Yes.
And then the PlayStation 1, followed by the N64 and then the Dreamcast. I mean, I don't really have a specific genre I like to play. Anything that I find good personally, I like to play, so I don't have any preferences. But Shenmue, as you guys can tell by the shirt that I'm wearing, is really close to my heart, so.
That is a pretty badass sweatshirt. So, for those listening and not watching, he's wearing a tank top that has the Shenmue loading screen on it.
Yes.
It's pretty badass. Let's keep going. Kopke is with us, the magnificent Kopke, has returned to the show.
Yay.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, a little bit cheerful today because I was finally able to rest, finally catch up with a lot of work I had this week. But it's looking nice because now I have some time for other projects that I'm able to move forward with, and we hope to announce that later this year, right, Chris?
Yeah, some exciting stuff that we have in the works. Really looking forward to. We got some really neat things on the horizon here at SEGA Nerds. So awesome. And also joining us on the show, I think maybe the second or third time is Jason. How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
Hello, fine, sirs.
Jason is our resident SEGA racing expert.
Pretty much. Racing games and fighting games. That's
and Afterburner 2 reviewer.
Oh, definitely. I've been a big fan of the Afterburner series.
Sweet. So
New on Genesis.
maybe you can kind of be our 3D classics guy now, moving forward. We'll see about that.
Leaving Phantasy Zone to Talkie, I think I can do the other two.
Awesome. Yeah, before we move on, I got some pretty big news this past week. I know that the wife and I we're both in the Air Force, and we have been waiting on orders to come down, basically saying where we're going to move to next. We were hoping that we're going to either Colorado or California. I really was wanting to go to California just so the video game scene out there, maybe closer to SEGA, could do some more work with them, work more closely with them out there. As it turns out, I'm staying on the East Coast, and I'm actually moving up north. I'm going to New Jersey.
What a twist.
I know.
You're already in my territory.
That was not even an inkling at all in my mind that we might go up there. Wow. And the job, it's crazy because the job I'm going to be doing is so different than what I'm doing now. I'm the managing editor of the Air Force's magazine. This is what I do now. When I go up there, I'm going to be teaching like combat skills training for public affairs people. So vastly different stuff. So I'm going to be kind of a combat skills instructor for public affairs. Wow, it's going to be crazy. But I'm still kind of looking. What's that?
I said we're going to have to go game hunting while you're out there. In my territory.
How close to that area are you?
Where are you going in New Jersey, if you would know?
Near, well, I'll be stationed at Fort Dix. So I guess it's like outside of Trenton.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't be that far away.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Because, yeah, I won't know anyone when I go up there at all. So it'll be nice to have a few familiar faces up there. So, yeah, that's kind of the big news. Probably in August timeframe I'll be moving, and it'll be nice going somewhere where I can actually get some better internet because I'm still running on DSL over here, and it sucks. Let me tell you, I can't even get the PlayStation Now. I don't know if you guys have tried that out yet. It's the PlayStation streaming service, kind of like on live cloud-based video gaming and stuff like that. I don't even get my internet's not even fast enough to run that at all. You have to get at least like 4 to 5 megabytes per second. I don't even have that. I think it's like 3, so it's bad. Basically, just barely fast enough to be able to host this Google Hangouts, and by that I mean barely. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's get on to the newsstand, and as we kind of discussed earlier in the show, for new releases this past week, Afterburner 2 on the 3DS was our new release. This is the first of the second wave of the Sega 3D Classic that M2 has been porting. They've been taking all these classic arcade games from Sega, just really fleshing them out, adding all sorts of neat features to it, and bringing them out to the 3DS. Now this one is $5.99, just like the rest of them, and it comes with quite a bit of added stuff, like all sorts of. There's smoke transparency that wasn't actually available in the first one, and you can actually choose from several different arcade cabinets. And I've been kind of toying around with that because I got the game and I've been playing with it myself. Jason, you actually reviewed the game for the website, and we published that earlier this week. What can you tell us about it, and what kind of what were some of the things that you enjoyed about the game?
I really liked all the different visual stuff you could do with all the cabinet designs and such like that, and the smoke transparencies. There's also an option that I forgot to mention in the review, but there's actually in Afterburner there's certain patterns that the enemies have, and that if you target the leader of that pack of enemies, it'll blow them all up in one clean shot. With the settings, you can actually map it so it tells you which leader targets to lock onto, which I thought was pretty cool. And the special.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go into the special settings and turn on the leader targets, it does that. And also the burst mode.
That's what that means. Okay, because I saw that, I had no idea what it meant.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but that was pretty cool. And also the burst mode, I've been liking a lot. It's like taking old school Afterburner, but combining it with the new aspect Climax. Which I thought
I went through the first one, so I was able to unlock burst mode and going through and kind of playing that. And that's a lot of fun. It adds a little bit of variety to it. Have any of the other guys? Have you guys played it, Copy or Marcin? Have you played it yet?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what they did, porting that X-board old arcade, and they also added this mode that we were discussing before the show that they kind of simulate the original cabinets. Like, for example, you get the stick and the controller here, and it how do you say? It focuses on the cabinet from the viewpoint if you were inside the plane, and then the 3DS twists the screen to the left or to the right depending on where you are navigating the plane with. So that's pretty amazing that they were able to translate that part from the original arcade to this new 3D version of it.
Yeah,
I really love that.
It's basically replicating the experience if you were to play it on the deluxe cabinets back in the day. They did the same thing with Outrun and Hang On and Space Harrier.
In order to actually make the experience even more lifelike, I play that mode, but then I lay on the bed and I get all my kids and my wife to jump on the bed as I'm playing it. It makes the experience it's amazing.
Can they all see the screen?
Yeah. Marcin, have you got a chance to play it yet?
I mean, despite me writing an article about it, I haven't had a chance to play it nor buy it because I'm waiting for the 3DS XL, the new one that's coming out in February. So I pre-ordered the Majora's Mask one. I did post a status a while ago that I feel excited and kind of dirty inside because it's a lot of money to shell out. But yeah, I'm waiting until February 13th to.
But you don't have a 3DS right
I
now,
have a
though, right?
I have a 3DS. I have the small one, but I
Okay.
just want to wait for the new
No,
technology.
that makes sense because yeah, I mean, I wish had I known, and I probably should have because it's fucking Nintendo and they always do this shit.
Yeah.
But had I known, and if I originally bought the smaller 3DS, the original one, I certainly would have waited for the new one coming out. But I own a 3DS XL, the original one's right here, and I can't bring myself to buy that thing. But yeah, I mean, you definitely need to check this game out though when you finally do get it. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out that and Jason, you did also mention in your review some of the the 3DS analog stick is a little tough to use, like with the game. It seems like I wish that they would have added a sensitivity option in there to where you can kind of play around with it and find just the right setting that you feel more comfortable with. Because I just it's hard, I think, sometimes to use it and really focus exactly where you want to shoot and move it around, because I feel like it's just very jumpy. Did you guys notice that at all?
I noticed it. Yeah, it feels very jumpy. I had the same problem with Space Harrier. When Space Harrier came out, I used the stylus control because it was a lot more precise than the actual analog stick was. But for Afterburner, it's kind of tricky because to play it one-handed and still have control of the throttle and the machine guns and missiles, instead of just having control of the light stick.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would have did it like Hang-On did and had gyroscopic controls in a way. I mean, you could still kind of have the same precision.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't do that.
I guess it's only a driving game thing. When you think of it.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I'm looking it up real quick. I want to find out what the next game they may have lined up. I don't think Sega's officially announced what's coming next, have they?
Well, Nintendo kind of teased Phantasy Zone, so and actually it was the second one. I think it was Outrun or Phantasy Zone. It's one of those two.
It was the order they teased them in Nintendo Direct, if my memory serves me correctly. It was Afterburner, Fantasy Zone, Outrun, Fantasy Zone 2, and Thunderblade was the order they teased them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next lineup. Yeah, I watched that too. Throwing my wallet at the screen.
So, well,
shut up and take
judging
my money.
if they're going to be releasing one a month, so it's probably going to be around this time or so next month. Then that we'll get the next game. Really looking forward to that. Can't wait. Then also we have.
Sorry. Then the Nintendo Direct said that releases were between January and March, so it looks like they're gonna be only using 3 months for the 4 releases.
5 games, 3 months. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then we'll
2 to 3 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have Citizens of Earth here in a couple of days as well. That's an Atlas published RPG, so that's going to be coming up as well. But we'll talk a little bit about that next week once we can actually play the game. So moving on, and Marcin, I'm going to have to get you to probably help me out on this one because
Sure.
it seems kind of confusing, very detailed oriented. Just it's way above my head. So anyway, so there are some fans out there who are sick of Sega not releasing Phantasy Star Online 2. Would you guess that? And they are going out and deciding they're going to release it on their own. Now, Marcin, you wrote the story for the website on this. So what can you tell us about PSO2 possibly coming this way via these guys?
So from what I read, so basically if nobody knows the background story, or for those who haven't been following, Phantasy Star Online 2 is already released in Asia and got released in Southeast Asia, and apparently the Southeast Asian fans have also received an English language package. So not only is the game done, it also has an English language. It's all in English, and we haven't gotten a release date. We haven't gotten any update besides, we'll just let you know when we get any new updates, which I think personally is bullshit. But hey, I'm sure they have their own reasoning for whatever. But so basically, Cyber Kisune and Aida, they are actually trying to create their own server and then bring it to American players. So it is in its early stages, like I wrote. Basically, you can just kind of move around, say hi. And as of yet, despite Sega being fully aware of the story, they haven't, they haven't done any action. They haven't, sued them or told them to stop. So I don't know. I guess they're fine with these two, and it's actually a group of 5 people. It's them and 3 more, 3 or so. And they're trying to, at least give the fans something, because they've been waiting, and there's already another Phantasy Star Online on the Vita that's been released in Japan. So this is pretty much technologically old. It's, an older game now, and we still haven't got it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Sega's still saying that the game is delayed, is what they keep saying, and they've been pretty much saying that for probably.
It's been 3 years already, so
and they haven't. Yeah, they just have not given a straight answer. And you know what? What I've kind of been led to believe, I really don't think that they know. Sega of America, I really don't. I have a feeling that. Just the communication between Sega of Japan and Sega of America on this game just is almost maybe non-existent, and they have no idea when it's going to come. And I just don't think that I just don't really think that America is a big priority for Sega of Japan these days.
Well, the thing is, it's been 3 years already. Delaying a game that much, it's almost like practically not launching it. And even if they launch it now, it would be really hard because they're taking too much longer. And the other thing it's enraging the fans is that when they released the first demo for Phantasy Star Online 3 years ago, they forbid American IPs to log into that system. They were expelled. And actually, if you log from an American IP and start speaking too much in English, they expel you from the game. So that's kind of the thing that's been upsetting the fans and the players that are from the West. And on top of that, you delay this game that much, and now that it has even an episode 2, an episode 3 out there in Japan, it means that the game really is successful over there, and we still don't have it. And what's even worse than the things is that, this year is Phantasy Star Online 15th anniversary, and we still don't have the second game, so it's kind of saddening what's going on there. And we still have no straight answer for Sega. I mean, if they would be open and saying, okay, we're not releasing the game, at least people would know the game isn't coming. But there's this kind of dark story that nobody's knowing about, and they're not being clear about it. It's kind of upsetting.
Anytime they do something like that, I just say they pull a Shenmue 3, because that's anytime they have a scenario like that where they don't give you a good answer, they tell you, we'll let you know, they don't give a straightforward answer, I just call it pulling a Shenmue 3, so.
And it's weird, because, when 3 years ago, Sega announced that they were, doing some location tests on PAX, and the game was even there. And suddenly, just the game, nobody spoke ever of it again. So it was really kind of weird how it happened. We understand that there may be some issues like servers or localizing the game, because it's really huge now. Trying to localize this game, it's really a huge task. And even if they got an Asian release, the rest of Asia that has that English version doesn't have neither episode 2 neither episode 3. They just have the first one. So it means that they also took their time to do that. So God knows what is happening with PSO2.
Now, Copy, we saw, or we may have gotten word a little bit ago that there's a possibility that the English, or I guess there's no more IP banning on PSO2 for the
Japanese. There were some reports on Twitter. Yeah, people were starting to tweet that how do you say, prohibition or forbidding that the American or the Western IPs are not forbidden anymore. As for today, there was earlier today there were some tweets from fans that are logging with this unofficial patch for the American servers, and people were reporting that they're not banned anymore from those servers. That seems interesting. What's going on right now with the PSO2 thing?
Yeah, that would be pretty neat because I know there are people that are interested in doing that. For me, I'm not going to go through that amount of work to play the game. I want Sega to release a game here. I want it to be in English, and I don't want to have to resort to translations and all this other stuff for me to pay to play the game. If I'm going to play the game, Sega needs to bring it over here.
Yeah, too much effort for me. I can't do that. Jumping through all those hoops just to play Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah.
Well, it also means that people really want this game, and they're even doing this kind of things to play the game. So it is like, come on, Sega. There is a business opportunity there, even if the game is a free-to-play game and makes a lot of money. Because when there was this story about the PC ports, we were talking about which PC games make Sega a lot of money, and Phantasy Star Online 2 was one of those titles. So it means it is a business there. So
they're allergic to money.
Sega should consider. Yeah.
Kaki, why don't you
right.
take us into the next bit of news? Because you're the one actually who alerted me to that.
Okay. Well, the first one is Sega announced a date for the Project Mirai Deluxe on 3DS, which is May 26th. And this is a re-release, but really polished, from Project Mirai the 1 and 2, which were 3DS games that were only released in Japan. They are actually releasing the first one, but with a twist from the second one, improving that gameplay. And this game will finally hit America for 3DS users, because Hatsune Miku has only been on Sony platforms this far. And actually, Project Mirai was the game where they released for the first time this Miku version called Nendoroid Miku, which is tiny Miku, a chibi Miku with a big head, and it's really popular right now. And there are a lot of figures that are based on by Good Smile Company that are based on this kind of model. So there you go. It's finally hitting American land and the West. So you guys are gonna be finally able to play it. The second Japanese news we have is that Sega of Japan announced that they're gonna be finally gonna be releasing the Sega Hard Girl, the Dreamcast Sega Hard Girl figure on the One Fest, and they actually announced that a lot of merchandise is gonna be hitting on February 8th on that figure and toy festival that they released over there. And the main Japanese toy manufacturers are gonna be there, and they always showcase their main figures, and people were really eager today to know about it. So it was kind of popular today on our Twitter. The other news are related to Yakuza Ryuga Gotoku 0, which is they basically announced a couple of things that they're going to be releasing, accompanying along with the game release, which is PS3 and PS4 version, and which has the tattoos from the main characters of the game, and the other ones are PS Vita, which comes in black and white with those tattoo motifs on the back part, and there's also a PlayStation TV, which is going to be on that model, and a lot of merchandise, like watches, fragrances, on Sega Epton Store T-shirts, and how do you call this? Sleeping masks. Some of those with
sleeping mask. Yeah.
Did you say
I've
fragrances?
never worn one.
Yep, there's
What?
a perfume.
All right.
There's a Yakuza perfume coming from Sega.
That's interesting.
I want to smell like what Kazuma's musky cologne would smell like.
That's insane.
Imagine
It
it smells very,
smells
very
like.
good.
It smells like crime.
Yeah.
And pee.
A mixture of both. That's probably the mixture.
Now, it's interesting, though, I thought that, Sega and Sony would team up to release a PS Vita and Vita TV, as it's known in Japan, limited editions for Yakuza 0, because the game, there's not going to be a Vita version or port of Yakuza 0. The only way you're actually going to be able to play the game on the Vita is through remote play, through your PS3 or PS4. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. But it would be really cool to have a PS4 and a Vita Yakuza 0 limited edition. I think that would be pretty badass. They look awesome.
I want them to release an entire collection from Yakuza 1 all the way to 5, because I only played the first one on the PS2. Played it halfway because I had to return at Blockbuster, which is now extinct. Yeah, an HD collection would be nice.
You probably could have went and bought that game again when Blockbuster was going out of business for about $1.
Yeah, they had like pre-owned shit selling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that, though. I'd love to have a Yakuza.
What's funny though about that though is because one of the things was that Blockbuster that came out like during when Blockbuster was going out of business was that Blockbuster had ties to the mafia. So it's kind of
Really?
relevant. Yeah. Yeah. That maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a funny story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So
I might investigate about it too, just to read and for the loss.
But Kopke, there's one other thing I want you to talk a little bit about, and that's kind of a sad bit of news that we got earlier in the week. Is the Eggman's Japanese voice actor passed away, and I know that I will completely botch his name, so I'm going to let Kopke try it instead.
Chikao Otsuka.
There we go.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say that.
Oh yes, you were.
But actually, I mean, he didn't only just voice Eggman for some of the Japanese versions of Sonic the Hedgehog. He did some other stuff too, right, Kopke?
Yeah, like Tetsuo Atom, which is Asteroid for Us, Cowboy Bebop, and some characters from Lupin the Third, which our staff member Lee Sparks is really fan of. So yeah, he really did quite a career on as seiyuu. That's how they call voice actors over Japan.
Poor guy.
He will be missed.
He was he was 85 years old, so he had a pretty good run. You know, he wasn't spring chicken anymore, but we wish you well, Chikao.
Rest in power.
Otsuka-san. So long.
Moving on, let's get into our feature discussion. So that wrapped up the news. So, since this is our first podcast of 2015, our last show, we kind of recapped all of Sega's releases throughout the year. And there were quite a bit of them, not so much as there were the previous year, but there was quite a bit anyway. A lot of mobile games, which was kind of interesting because we've gradually seen Sega over the past couple of years really shift a lot of their focus towards mobile and to a lesser extent PC. It's really big for them. But I want to talk a little bit about what you guys want to see from Sega this year. If it's maybe more of the same, you want to see them continue to focus on mobile stuff, that's fine. But I'd like to kind of go around the room and let's discuss what we want Sega to do this year. Marcin, why don't you go first?
Yeah, sure. So just shout out to my friend James who's currently watching, unless he stopped halfway. One thing that I did want to see this year is Shenmue HD being finally announced. I think that is one thing that is way overdue. They've had so many HD ports, a crappy Sonic Adventure port that is just a direct port, no effort put into the updating it. But yeah, an HD port of Shenmue 1 and 2 possibly as one game. I'm also kind of, thinking about past IPs that they've had and they haven't, done anything with them in a while. Alex the Kid, maybe something new for them. Nights into Dreams, Vector Man, something like pull them out of the grave and just give them a new game this year. Announce something. So that's what I want to see.
Very good. I agree with pretty much all of that. Awesome. Yeah. Jason, what about you?
To be honest, this might sound like a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but I don't know if you paid attention to Sega's arcade news recently and how they talked about releasing the Dirt Showdown spinoff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that between the relationship Sega and Codemasters are having with their racing games, because I know they released the Grid arcade game a while back too.
Mm-hmm.
Expect them to make some type of game based on Codemasters IPs. Like, I want to say with Codemasters' history of racing games and Sega's history of arcade games, maybe make a collaboration together and possibly a Sega Super GT2 or a remake of Sega Touring Car or something like that.
What do you think if Sega and Codemasters were to team up to create like a mashup of the best Sega racing game and the best Codemasters racing game? What would you choose?
Oh
That
man,
would be
Sega GT, Daytona.
But it'd have to also be something Codemasters as well.
Yeah, Dirt. Definitely Dirt from Codemasters or the
Dirt?
Formula One racing. I love Dirt. Well, not as a phrase, but Dirt the game. Yeah.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
For me, it would have to be a choice of Sega Touring Car Challenge for the Sega side and Grid for the Codemaster side. Because if you think about it, they both would link very well. I mean, Sega Touring Car was based on the DTM Challenge Cup back then, and Grid is basically a simulation of touring car racing. So to put it together, have a nice Eurobeat soundtrack like the original did, have a great combination like that, it would work.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Kopke,
Also,
what about you, buddy? Oh, go ahead.
Also, maybe I've been clamoring a little bit for a Sega Racer collection.
Oh.
That can
Oh,
happen,
wow.
but-
That would, yeah.
Consisting of what?
Consisting of everything from Hang On up to Outrun 2. All the originals.
Do you want them as they were? Or do you want them to be revamped?
I'd keep them in their original arcade forms.
All right.
Nice. Kopke, what about you, buddy?
Well, for a start, I think that 2014 was a good year for Sega, despite all what happened with Sonic Boom. You know, they finally managed to play some hits out there that people were buying, like Alien Isolation, sorry. And you know, they did good on their releases. They did. There weren't so many, but they were effective. And for example, getting Chain Chronicle was a nice start. So I also think they should keep doing that pace for this year. What was good for them was this kind of release by Triple Bundle. By Triple Bundle, I mean video games, merchandise, and cartoons. That is giving them money, and even in Japan and here in the West. I think they should keep doing that pace, but really be picky about which IPs are going to be doing that. They announced that they're going to be releasing Sonic the Hedgehog live-action movie, which is kind of worrying.
What?
Knowing what they do with this IPs, so
Wait,
they really
can you elaborate on that? A live-action movie?
Yeah, it's a CGI plus live-action parts that they announced that they're going to be doing with Sony. We covered that news last year.
Directed by Michael Bay.
No, it's more
can't wait
into
to see-
Marsa and Sony. But
I want to see some love action going, like with Sonic and like Sonic 06 style.
Megan Fox and Sonic the Hedgehog.
I would not say I would not watch that because I would.
And you know, they announced it also that they're gonna be releasing movies like Afterburner or stuff. They sold those rights to this Break Media guy. We don't know how they're gonna be, if they're gonna be bad or good, but they really have to be careful about what they do with it because we don't want the Super Mario Bros. Movie to be on those IPs, you know.
Wouldn't it
bad
be
as it
more
is.
appropriate for
Nightmare.
Tails to bang Megan Fox though?
I.
You know,
Oh,
so it's okay.
I just foxes banging each other.
Had to kick a pun there, and
I couldn't help it. It was so easy. It was right there for me.
I see what you did there.
That way is okay. That way is okay as long as you follow that Sega Hardware's formula. You know, that make Sega awareness, make something cool with it, make something that really connects with the fans and makes them like that nostalgia moment with the franchise. As long as they keep that doing and they respect what the IP or the franchise is about, I think they're gonna be okay. Let's hope they do that.
Mhm.
The other thing I think they should be releasing is those ports from the past, like what they did with Valkyria Chronicles was really good. Like releasing it on PC, but also deserves to be on other consoles. I think PC is good as the first part of the experimentation. Like releasing there, if it sells well, use that money to port it to the other consoles. I think that's the right way to go because there's no way of failure with PC. These guys are gonna be buying that for sure. You got that upgrade on the graphics. The part on how it bad or well works with the hardware is it's up to the user. It's not Sega's fault. It's more on that end. So they kind of safe in that part if they don't run properly or stuff like that. And the PC guys always fix the things for Sega, so they are kind of the safe spot for that. So for example, releasing things like Virtual On finally on PC, that would be interesting because these guys can play online that game. They already did that for Xbox, so it's practically running on PC hardware. So they should do that. We don't know if they're gonna be do that, but I think they really have to be picky and analyzing which franchises they're gonna be delivering again on HD ports or new versions, so that people can still buy them. I think that works really well, and they really are doing well with Humble Bundle. So those alliances are doing well. The other thing I think they should keep doing is releasing more merchandise, which is doing well for them. The things that they do with insert clothing, the other ones with T-shirts and stuff. Total War is releasing a new store, which is fine. Total War is a successful franchise, so it's going to be making money because it has a really huge fan base, despite others right now, and the things they're doing with Football Manager. But what about the ones that are made in America? They are not doing that. I think they should do it because Spiral Knights has been out there for about 5-6 years, and we haven't seen any merchandise from that, and it's really popular.
Jeez,
The
that thing's
game's
still around, really?
Yeah, it's popular. It's
Yeah.
alive, and countries from Latin America play that a lot, and really surprised they know that game. Speaking with people from Chile and Argentina, Uruguay, and play Spiral Knights, and they recognize that Sega, even if they think Sega games suck on consoles, they play Spiral Knights, and that's really surprising. Why isn't
Mhm.
Sega exploiting that much? We don't know. But they should start doing that. Selling those licenses to third parties, but really be picky about how they release. Because 80 games, Sega Genesis hardware that's on supermarkets, it really makes a bad image for Sega. So their license managers should be really picky and keep an eye on those things, so they don't start badmouthing Sega for bad quality. They should be really paying attention on that. And they have been improving a little bit on marketing, which is fine, but it's just still not enough. Sometimes they talk about like, okay, we released Afterburner, but what about 4 or 6 months later? You forget about those things. Like for example, what they did with Dragon Coins, which was nice. We really noticed the game. Some people downloaded it, but right now there's no like advertising or there's no even mention of that game. So they should start like doing things on Twitter, like for example, hey guys, this is from our back catalog. We still have Daytona on the PSN. We still have Guardian Heroes on Xbox Live Arcade. Keep buying that because otherwise people don't know about it and they forget to do that. We know they don't have enough money for marketing or advertising, but hey, at least a tweet a month or a post on Facebook like, hey guys, we still have these games. Please remember about it.
Yeah, make their
That
intent
would
do
be
it.
nice.
They're not getting paid, so.
Yeah.
Free marketing.
Yeah.
Good stuff there,
Yeah.
Kapki. For me, I mean, Sega has certainly been kind of slowly going more into their back catalog and bringing back some of their old classic games and stuff. But I'd really love to see Sega kind of jump in, with both feet finally in that, because I think retro gaming is at I think it's going to be more popular than it ever has been, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to get more popular in the future, but I think right now is certainly a big opportunity for Sega to go back and really flesh out and bring out a lot of its back catalog of stuff, whether it's just releasing it digitally across all the digital stores on from Nintendo to Sony to Microsoft to Steam or what have you, just all of that stuff. I'd really like to see them and bring some of that stuff out, stuff that they haven't brought out yet. I mean, because we have all the Sonics, we have all the Knights, we have Alex Kids and that stuff. But I would like to see some of the maybe bring out like a Saturn collection or something like that, and bring out more Dreamcast games, because I mean we got that initial Dreamcast collection, and those are the kind of games that just the very generic games that pretty much if you own a Dreamcast you probably have all those games anyway. But I would like to see some of the stuff that maybe some of the more obscure stuff, or maybe some stuff that was only released in Japan and
like SEGA.
Yeah, that would be really cool, and people would lap that stuff up. I would love for Sega to do some of that and kind of bring that as a focus going forward. The Sega PC ports is another big thing. I want to see Sega continue to support that. As you said, Kopke, it's going to be popular. It's shown that if Sega supports these classic games and bringing them over to the PC, people are going to respond and people are going to buy it. I mean, Valkyria Chronicles sold really, really well on PC and on Steam, and I think bringing more of those games, whether it's Bayonetta or what's the other?
Panzer Dragoon Orta or Jet Set Radio Future, which were on the Xbox.
What's it look like?
Why am I not?
Shinobi, PlayStation Shinobi.
No, the Bayonetta developer. What's the PS2?
Platinum Games.
Platinum Games, but what's the action game the really badass action game?
Anarchy Reigns.
No.
Anarchy Reigns. Mad World.
I always do this.
Mad World.
Anyway.
The one with robots and shooters that Graham loves, right?
Man, now I have to look it up. Damn it! This is gonna take forever to do.
To Google.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, which was on Xbox and PlayStation 3, but I can't remember the name right now.
Shit! I always do this. I have the worst memory of all time, I think. What is it? Vanquish. That's what I'm thinking of.
Vanquish. Yeah.
People were probably yelling that at me in the stream. I said it started with a V, and it did. I want to see Vanquish come out to PC. And I know Sega's going to continue with the mobile push. And I think that's smart because mobile is very big in the industry, and I know that it's probably paying off really well for Sega. I would love for them to continue to do that. I mean, there's no reason why, along with some of these classic stuff that they're bringing out to consoles and to PC, that they can't also bring those over to the mobile. I know some like Neo Geo and some other companies have like their own like app that you can download and buy, and there's all these games available within the app, and you can buy them that way. I would love for Sega to do something like that, like a Sega Classics video game app. You can download that, and you can go in and download and play games from the Master System all the way up to the Dreamcast on mobile. I think that would be really badass. So that's just some of the stuff. And I'm really interested to see what Sega's going to do with Sonic in 2015. This should be we see what Sonic Team is going to do. I know we've published the Sonic Runners information that Sonic Team is doing. That's going to be a mobile game, so that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But as far as like a console game, they're no longer going to be tied to the Nintendo exclusivity because that 3-game deal ran out with Sonic Boom. And so it's going to be great to see, maybe Sonic on the PS4 and Xbox One, like a really legit next-generation Sonic game with Sonic Team behind it. It'll be great. Maybe this is the year we have like Sonic 5. That would be really interesting. What like Sonic 5, Xbox One, PS4?
Sonic Adventure 3, maybe, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a year for them to rest a little bit and finally take some time to develop properly something. I think
Sonic
that
Boom
would
2, now they've gone through leg day, because they skipped leg day in Sonic Boom.
That's what he's been doing this past year. Is just working on those legs.
Never skip like that.
So we want to hear from you guys as well. What do you want to see from Sega this year? Like, what would be the one thing that you would like more than anything for Sega to do? And we all know Shenmue 3, and all that stuff. We all want that, but try to be as realistic as possible. You know, if you can find one thing that you think Sega realistically would do in 2015, or you think they should do, let us know, and we'll talk about that in next week's show. But now let's get into what we've been playing. And Jason, why don't you start us out this segment and tell us what you've been playing this week?
It's been a very Atlas-centric week with me. I've been playing a lot of Persona. I've been playing Arena Ultimax, Q, and I've been replaying 3 for about the 4th time. But besides that, 3D Afterburner 2, and a lot of Ridge Racer Type 4.
Now, I've dabbled in the Persona games before, and what Persona game are you playing right now that are you enjoying the most?
I'm playing Q and 3 right now, but I'm really enjoying Arena Ultimax because
now that's the fighting game, right?
Yeah. But if I had to pick one of the RPG games, it would have to be Q. I'm really enjoying Q right now.
What about the system for Persona Arena? Oh, sorry.
For Persona Arena?
Yeah. What about the system? Is it cool? Does it play nice?
It's a very nice looking game. It's a technical game in some aspects too, with all the different status ailments and such like that. I mean, they brought almost every status ailment that was in the Persona series into a fighting game. And to make it complicated like that, it gets technical sometimes.
Yeah, Arc System is really good making fighting games.
Yeah, Arc Systems has been trying to bridge all of their fighting games together recently. Between Persona, Guilty Gear, and BlazBlue, they've been trying to bridge little connections between one another.
Interesting. Sega should deliver. Sega should deliver a fighting game. Totally, I agree with that. They got 2, and they're not releasing them. Well, anyway, I've been playing one of Sega's fighting game, which is Fighting Climax. I love that game, man. It's really fun. I wish they could release that over here. It's really amazing. Actually, when the Evo organizers asked randomly on Twitter, like, what games do you want this year in Evo? Everybody was from Japan was saying Fighting Climax. We want Fighting Climax, but that's not likely gonna happen. You know, it's a business, and it's a Japanese release only, so not likely gonna. But the game is pretty nice. If you guys are able to import it, do it. It's really fun. The animations are really great and really enjoyable. So it's really good. Nice fighting system. I love it. Also been playing Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate, which they gave it to me as a gift, and it's really nice system. I love it. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Not yet properly, but I've been experimenting with some characters to know their moves and what kind of things I can do with it. Also, I've been playing Puyo Tetris. I went to a meeting last time, a hangout, and people were there, and I brought it in, and people were like, "Oh man, Tetris isn't used to fight each other." I was like, "That's a fun part. That's the fun part of Sega Tetris. You should love it too." And they were enjoying playing Puyo versus the Tetris system. The other thing I've been playing is Guacamelee. Yeah, that would be the proper pronunciation. And the game's kind of a beat 'em up. It's kind of weird to see how other country kind of translates your own country, which is weird because it looks like a thing between Spanish thing and Mexican. It's not properly Mexican, but it's kind of funny to see wrestlers on a Spain setting. And but the game's nice, the system's nice, and it's really enjoyable. And I think that's it. That's pretty much it. What I have been playing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Martha. Oh, he's coming back in.
Martha's back.
We lost you, Martha.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The door. I was like, that's awkward. So. Yeah.
So we are just getting to your turn. What you been playing this week?
So you mentioned earlier about PlayStation Now. I actually did try it today. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, cool. Free trial, 7 days. You know, you could try over 100 games. It's in terms of streaming. I have Comcast right now, Xfinity, blast, but apparently, I don't know, it doesn't. For me personally, the speed isn't as fast as what they say, but when I
It
try to
never is.
stream, yeah, I mean, when I tried to stream it, it plays, but occasionally it kind of lags, and the music kind of like dies down like a broken cassette player. Like it plays, and it just kind of I don't know. It's hard to describe. But anyways, I was playing Nights into Dreams. First time I ever played a Nights into Dreams game. Besides the cameo on Sonic Adventure, haven't played it before.
Oh,
So I tried playing Nights into Dreams, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know the story. I hit play, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like an acid trip. I don't know what is going on. What am I doing? Why am I floating here? What am I collecting? What are these rings? I had no idea. But I mean, it was pretty fun. I'll probably play later. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. I've played Sonics 1 through 3, Sonic CD, all the other Sonic games except for 4, Episode 1 and 2, which I also played on PlayStation Now. I mean,
most people will probably tell you it's okay if you just pass those up. You just don't even play them.
yeah, but I mean, I wanted to try it. It sounds like a classic Sonic game. It kind of feels like it. I'm only on the second act. I guess it's the casino stage or whatever. It's fun. And then the other one I've been mainly playing is Dragon Age Inquisition, because I do like a game with a good story. So at first I thought I beat the game because I'm like, okay, great, Archdemon. The main boss guy comes in. You have like this final fight at Haven, which is where you're located primarily, and then you finish that part, and then you awaken in a castle, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Now there's another part to the game. Like it's a long ass game. Let me tell you.
It's like Peter Jackson developed the game. Like you think it's over, and then wait, no, we're gonna pull you back in again, and
it's like 4-hour movie. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've been playing, and I'm enjoying myself right now. Yeah.
Nice. I do want to pick up Dragon Age. I think I'm going to wait until it hits like around the $30 mark when I can pick it up. Then that's one of my I guess New Year's gaming resolutions is trying to not spend $60 on video games anymore and trying to go like and hold off and wait until some of the games that I want hit the like around the $30 mark and try to get them a little cheaper. So that would have actually been a pretty fun topic, our New Year's resolutions as it comes to video gaming. Maybe next week we can do that. I haven't really been playing a whole lot. I've been kind of dabbling in a few games. I finally, I've been coming down. I came down to my basement this past week and decided, okay, I'm going to start sorting through all my video game stuff because they've just been sitting here since the move. I've gotten out like a lot of the like the newer stuff, but a lot of my retro stuff has just been kind of sitting in boxes. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to find all my cables, and I've been kind of sorting through it all. I finally pulled out all my PS2 cables this week and hooked up my PS2, and I popped in SEGA Classics Collection, which is it's pretty neat. It was SEGA Ages in Japan, so it has like about 10 classic SEGA games, but they were kind of redone on the PS2, so they have kind of improved graphics and things like that. There's Outrun, Space Harrier, Virtua Racing, Alien Syndrome, Fantasy Zone, Columns, Golden Axe, games like that. Been playing it, and it's quite a bit of fun. Space Harrier I really enjoy on the SEGA Classics Collection. I think that's a lot of fun. I think I want to say that they actually redid the music as well. I'm almost positive.
For Space Harrier remix.
They only did that on the polygonal versions because there's a polygonal version for Phantasy Zone and Space Harrier and Golden Axe.
Yeah.
That were the PS2 and the Japanese ones. I don't know if they did that for the American releases, but those ones have new versions and new intros and new character designs.
Oh, cool. I have not played the Golden Axe on here. I'm really interested in that. I've been kind of holding off on that. And then I also have started getting into Yakuza, the original one on the PlayStation 2. This might have been your rental copy, Marcel.
Probably.
It probably was.
Is there a pre-owned sticker on the back?
It has some little kid wrote his name on it. I used to hate getting games.
Might
like
be
that.
me.
Yeah.
For the upcoming episode, Chris is gonna be having a new Yakuza tattoo on his back.
Oh God, you know how expensive that is?
Do you remember there was a giveaway for like a contest that Sega had a long time ago?
They made this as sleeves.
Well, there was a contest where you get Kazuma's back tattoo, and there was like some guy in Australia who won it, and he got his full like dragon tattoo on his back.
So he joined the Yakuza.
Essentially, he did. Yeah, some white Australian guy is in the Yakuza, the Ojima family.
That sounds like a good Yakuza spinoff.
Yeah, that would be funny. This just white dorky Australian that works like at a grocery store.
Just
But
like
yeah, no, this
Shinobi.
game is so much fun. Man, it's been so long since I played it, and I'll be honest, I haven't really dabbled too much into the Yakuza series, but it's something that I'm really going to make a point to do, and I'm starting with the very first Yakuza, and man, this game is so good, even still to this day. I mean, it was released probably back in like 2005 or so, and it's still like, I mean, the gameplay is so much fun. The writing is really well done. I really like it. I mean, obviously the graphics have aged quite a bit, and you're playing it on the PS2, so it's like it is. And so it looks a little blurry, and it's not, anywhere near as nice as games today. But it still has a certain charm about it, and I really am enjoying the game, and I really am excited to finally play through the series and get ready for Yakuza 5 when it hits later this year. And what were you gonna say?
The games are really that good that they're even considered as Shenmue's spiritual successors. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've also been playing a little bit of Valkyria Chronicles 2, just kind of working my way through that game. Really enjoying that on my Vita. I really like that game. It starts off a little slower than the original Valkyria Chronicles. I really like how that one kind of started you off, and you're just like right in the thick of things from the get-go. This one's a lot slower, where you're kind of working your way through like a military academy, and you're kind of going through and learning the controls and the combat system and everything like that. And it almost feels more like a, I don't know, like it feels more like an RPG to me rather than a turn-based like strategy game. There's a lot more, I think, RPG elements in it, and some more, I don't know, but I'm enjoying it, and it actually translates really well to the Vita. I've been playing it on my PlayStation TV as well, but it does not look that great once you blow it up and play it on like a monitor or a big screen TV. You can definitely tell the game was designed for the PSP, so it doesn't look the best. So anyway,
jaggy edges.
Yeah, lots of jaggies. You remember that term? You don't hear that so often anymore, but the jaggies are certainly prevalent in Valkyria Chronicles 2. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this week. We don't really have any giveaways lined up. We might actually have some Afterburner 2 codes coming this next week. I'll have to get back to Sega on that, because they did email us about that. So we may have some Afterburner codes to give away this week. That would be fun, and get some more people playing the game. But I think that's going to do it. Marcin, thank you for joining us. This is your very first Nerdcast, and hopefully it'll be one of many going into the future.
Let's hope.
Yeah. And Kopke, look at that. He's got a cycloptic space harrier.
Mamoon.
Yeah.
Ice Age reject.
All right, that is going to do it for us, and we will be back next week. All right, take it easy.
Bye.